What's up, everybody? Some guy who cooks here, and I am in the mood, I'm hungry, in the mood for some nachos. But not just any nachos, some really fancy nachos. And fancy nachos require fancy sour cream. I definitely recommend you get some acidified sour cream, which you can find at your local Hispanic market. It's got an amazing flavor, and we're gonna adjust that flavor a little bit by adding some ranch powder. This video not sponsored by Hidden Valley. Anyway, this is by and far my favorite type of sour cream, and you can find it at pretty much any Hispanic market in your town, and you know, it's really good stuff, guys. The interesting thing about it is it doesn't come in a container, it comes in a plastic bag. Sometimes you can also find it at Walmart, but your best bet is going to be the local Hispanic market if you have one of those. Anyway, in goes our ranch mix. Be generous, guys. You don't have to go light on this stuff. We want a lot of flavor here. We also want some extra garlic powder, as well as a nice helping of your favorite hot or buffalo sauce. Again, do not shirk. You want this again to be nice and flavorful. We're making a buffalo ranch sour cream, which is one of my favorite sauces slash dips to make. It's super simple and people love it. They're super impressed by how good it is. And they just don't know how easy it is. Once you get the taste to your liking, go ahead and put it in a bottle much like this one, a nice little squeezy bottle that you can flip the top off and then just drizzle it on those nachos. You'll get a sneak peek. You'll just get a first-hand look as soon as I do that in just a minute. Now, every good plate of nachos needs a really good cheese sauce. You could use shredded cheese if you want, but I prefer a sauce in this case, so I'm gonna make a Colby cheese sauce. And I'm gonna thin it out with some beef broth to make it really special. Start with some butter, pinch of flour, and whisk away. Now, it's not very much roux, but it is still a roux, and you don't wanna burn it, so keep it moving. Add your milk, about a cup of it. Keep it heating. As you do, go ahead and shred up your cheese. We wanna add it a sprinkle at a time. Like I said, sprinkle at a time. Freshly shredded, and this is Colby cheese, and go ahead and give it a good stir so you can mix it in. See what happens when you do it just a little shred at a time is it mixes in nice and evenly and becomes a part of the sauce as opposed to just being some stringy cheese that happens to be in there. The next thing you want to do is to add some sodium citrate. Now it's all mixed in pretty well. It's a pretty even consistency, but it's still gloopy, a little clumpy. It's very thick, guys, and what this is going to help it do is get nice and creamy. This really kind of breaks down the fats in the cheese and it emulsifies them, essentially. You do need to use a whisk real good or an emulsion blender to emulsify it completely. However, it really does the trick. And here we go, and just a dash or two right in here. And immediately you can see how much it has affected it. Any chunks that were in there, any big pieces are now melting away, and it's becoming one consistent sauce. I'm also going to add a stick of cream cheese because, well, this does make it creamier. It adds another richness, another depth of flavor to our sauce. Granted, we're gonna have to add more liquid to it to loosen it up and make it a true cheese sauce, but I'm okay with that. Bloop. Now mix it right around, baby, right around till it's stirred in, baby. Now that it's good and thick, we're gonna add a cup of our beef broth, which I also added a little bit of garlic bouillon to. This is gonna give us plenty of that umami from the MSG that's naturally occurring in bouillon, plus a good strong beefy garlicky flavor. Here we go. Oh yeah, oh yeah. You can see how thick it's gotten. We're just gonna keep mixing and mixing until all of it is nice and stirred in, but I need both hands, guys. I'm also going to add a fistful of cheddar to, give it more cheese and more thickness and more flavor. Woo! Yeah, there it is. And now that it's thickened back up a bit, it's time for the part I've been waiting to surprise you with, and that's that we're adding something. It might sound a little strange. We're adding a little Prosecco. This stuff is, there's a little mild sweetness, but it's also dry. It's something that you wouldn't normally think to put in, like a cheese sauce. You'd think maybe beer or something like that, but a champagne kind of cheese. It's pretty delightful, and I think it's spot on for what we're looking for these Filet Mignon nachos. We're going for fancy, and how can you get more fancy than champagne cheese sauce? As you can see, it has considerably thickened up with that 1 or 2 handfuls of shredded cheddar. So we're gonna add in a nice splash of our Prosecco, which should bubble up a bit. And then we're gonna just stir it right on in using our whisk, okay? And just add until it gets the consistency you want. You want it a little soupier than a traditional nacho cheese, because once this cools down, it will thicken back up. The heat is keeping it as liquid and fluid as it is. Like I said, you want it a little soupier than the consistency you want, because it will thicken up as it cools down. And now for our fillets, which will get a healthy dose of the spa treatment, plus a couple other seasonings, just to make this a little more nacho-like. We got some cumin and some chili powder. While those start going, let's go ahead and grab our chips. You want some really nice chips? I've got some Sochil salted chips. These are thin and crispy, and boy, I'll tell you what, I always figured chips were chips, and then someone brought these to a party of mine, and they were so good. And I was like, yeah, there's an immediate difference between these and the 89-cent Walmart chips. So you want some good nachos, go quality on the chips. I'm sure they're not that more expensive than the cheapo ones, and they are a world better. Okay, and here we go. Now, that is some queso. Now, to me, this is beautiful, but I can see how some people will be turned off a bit by that. So after I slice, I'm gonna give them just another few seconds on that hot griddle to darken up a little bit for our nachos. All right, there we have some how I like it over here, and some cooked the other way. And I'm slicing it into more thin strips like this, so it's more conducive to our steak nachos. Specifically, filet nachos. Oh, still absolutely delicious. Very juicy, very tender, and I'm very surprised at how good the cumin is on this meat. I might have to try that in the future. Have it, an amazing plate of filet mignon nachos made with a Cheddar Jack Prosecco cheese sauce. So complex in its flavor. You know, you saw the video. It is amazing. We've got, of course, our filet mignon cooked up on the Blackstone E-Series, plus some amazing chips and a wonderful Buffalo Ranch sour cream. Guess it's time to dig in, guys. And I think I see chip numero uno right here. It's got queso, it's got our Buffalo Ranch sour cream, a dot of the extra hot sauce on top, plus a dot of that salsa verde that I added on there. Yeah, just a drizzle of salsa verde, plus a piece of filet, nice, good piece of filet. Here we go. Just stop it. Guys, amazing. Absolutely amazing. The flavors, they're rich, and all the seasonings go very well together. We get a hint of heat from the chili powder and a hint of that cumin, but not too much to take away from the extravagance of all these flavors in here. Another chip. The extra beefiness in that cheese sauce from the bouillon really complements the steak well. Plus, the two different cook levels of the steak actually complement each other really well as well. It's funny, I've never thought to do that before, but I think I might start doing that. Some of it cooked well, some of it cooked, or maybe like medium well, some of it cooked medium rare to rare. It's fantastic, guys. No matter which chip you choose. Should I go for this one here, or maybe this one here? Yeah, here we go. Here's another one. Oh, this one's all cheese. Yes, please. I mean, even just cheese and sauce. It's hard to go wrong. These chips are, the thin and crispy ones, so I should probably eat this pretty quick because I don't want them going soggy. But you know what, guys? These didn't take long to make, and they are freaking delicious. As always, make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below, and share this episode with your friends so they can check it out too. Filet Mignon nachos with a fancy Prosecco cheese, nacho cheese sauce. It's super good, guys. Try it out sometimes. I don't have a culinary degree. I don't know if you do, but whether you have been in the kitchen for a day or a decade, anybody can cook. And I guess I'm living proof. Until next time, I'm some guy who cooks out.